The moment the live lights dimmed inside the Dancing with the Stars studio, a wave of electricity swept across the room. The air was thick with suspense as Robert Irwin and Witney Carson stood center stage, breathless, waiting for the words that could change everything. And when the announcement finally echoed, "Robert and Witney, you are going to the finals," it felt like the entire building erupted. Gasps, cheers, applause, the whole room shaking with excitement. It was one of those rare television moments where emotion becomes almost tangible, where you feel the weight of someone's journey burst into celebration right in front of you. For Robert, this wasn't just a competition milestone. It was the culmination of a transformation no one could have predicted when the season began. Backstage, just moments later, the flood of adrenaline still hadn't slowed. Robert Irwin, child of wildlife royalty and beloved conservation advocate, was glowing with the disbelief and gratitude of someone who had pushed past every limitation placed before him. Talking with DWTS, he tried to gather the right words to describe the whirlwind happening around him. He kept saying it felt like everything he and Witney had poured into this season had finally found its payoff. Every hour of rehearsal, every bruise, every step he struggled through, it suddenly mattered in a way that felt bigger than the competition. For him, storytelling through dance became a language he never knew he could speak, and he spoke it with a sincerity that connected with viewers across America. Witney Carson, always vibrant and composed, stood beside him like a proud mentor watching her student take flight. She admitted that from the first day of rehearsals she sensed something unique about Robert, an earnestness, a willingness to learn, a heart that shone through every movement even before the movement made sense. She believed in his potential long before he believed in himself, and now, standing here in the glow of their victory, she felt like a proud big sister, overwhelmed by how far he had come. She reminded everyone that Robert had absolutely zero dance experience when he walked through the doors of Dancing with the Stars, and week by week he worked from nothing to performing routines that demanded athleticism, storytelling, and emotion. Their chemistry as partners was undeniable. Throughout the season, audiences fell in love with how they supported one another, Witney pushing him with passion and patience, Robert giving everything he had with the humility of someone who knew he was stepping into a world completely foreign to him. He would laugh during rehearsals and remind her, "Don't forget, I'm a zookeeper," using humor as a shield against the pressure he felt each week. But she never let him forget what he was capable of becoming. And now, in front of millions, he wasn't just the wildlife kid from Australia Zoo anymore. He was a performer, a dancer, a contender for the trophy. One of the most memorable moments came during their semi-final performance, the intricate roll and flip combination that left fans stunned, and even his interviewers caught off guard. When DWTS pressed him about how he managed such a move, Robert joked that he was dense and secretly stronger than he looked, but quickly redirected credit to Witney, insisting that she was probably the strongest person he had ever met. The two erupted in laughter, the kind of joyous, unpolished moment that reminded fans why they had fallen in love with their partnership in the first place. But the night's magic didn't end on stage. Backstage, his family, who had supported him week after week, were in full celebration mode. Robert described how they met him with pure, unfiltered joy, screaming, cheering, wrapping him in hugs. But the standout moment came from the newest generation of the Irwin legacy, his 4-year-old niece, Grace. Still so young but already showing sparks of performance passion, she rushed to him with the sweetest declaration, praising his Vianese waltz, adorably mispronounced but delightfully heartfelt. She even complimented his footwork with surprisingly technical precision for a child her age. It left Robert and everyone around him stunned. He turned to his sister Bindi Irwin and asked if she had coached Grace on what to say, but Bindi insisted the enthusiasm was all her daughter's own. And in that moment, something clicked for Robert. Grace wasn't just watching Dancing with the Stars, she was absorbing it, falling in love with it. He asked her which professional dancer she wanted to be partnered with one day, and without hesitation, she chose Val Chmerkovskiy. It was an adorable moment that sparked laughter and melted hearts, but it also hinted at something deeper. The possibility that the Irwin family's future might one day return to this very ballroom with a new generation. That emotional connection to family is what has carried Robert through many chapters of his life. Growing up in Australia Zoo under the legacy built by his parents, especially his late father Steve Irwin, he learned early on the value of passion and hard work. But stepping onto the stage of Dancing with the Stars was an entirely different kind of challenge. One that asked him to be vulnerable, in ways he never had been before. His dances were not just technical routines. They became tributes to his journey, his family, his heritage, and his own determination to embrace something completely outside his comfort zone. As he and Whitney talked about their path to the finals, it became clear that in each dance, they tried to tell a story. They wanted audiences to feel something, to travel through the highs and lows with them. They didn't want to simply perform moves. They wanted to translate emotions. And America responded. Week after week, votes revealed that the audience was not just impressed, they were invested. Now standing on the edge of the grand finale, the stakes have never been higher. For Robert, this isn't just about winning a Mirrorball trophy. It's about proving to himself that he can step into any challenge with courage. It's about honoring his family who raised him to live life fully. And it's about showing fans that he is capable of reinventing himself in ways no one saw coming. For Whitney, this journey is a reminder of why she loves the show. Helping someone discover their own strength is the heart of her craft. She already imagines herself years into the future, possibly returning to the show with Grace Irwin as a contestant. She jokes about rolling into the ballroom with a walker, but behind the humor lies genuine affection for this show, for dance, and for the generations that will keep it alive. As the finale approaches, the excitement builds. Every rehearsal now carries extra weight, every movement is carefully sharpened, every emotion intentionally amplified. And America watches with anticipation. Because whether or not Robert Irwin takes home the trophy, one thing is undeniable. He has already won hearts across the world. He has danced not just for the judges or the audience, but for his family, for his younger self, and for the people who believed in him from day one. And now, as he prepares for the finale, he steps forward with pride, passion, and the spirit of someone who has discovered something new within himself. Something that will follow him far beyond the ballroom.